Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. And we do have a lot to talk about. But first, we want to say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi because we're tracking some rain moving through our state. Hey, good morning, Jill.
Yeah, good morning. We've been tracking this batch moving the fastest across our state, but now it's kind of slowed down a little bit, or at least having some redevelopment. So this is where the pockets of heaviest rain is, most organized. It really breaks up towards I-91, but seeing some new development back across western Connecticut. So can't quite put away that umbrella just yet. As we take a look at Future Scan, an exclusive product here at Channel 3, it goes out 1 hour. Still pockets of downpours to the east. That batch of rain that has newly moved into the western part of the state will reach Torrington in an hour. So we'll give you that first alert. So all in all, wet weather will be a part of the mix for the front part of the day. Visibility, not great, but could be a lot worse. But your ride in will be wet at times, visibility wavering. So just take it slow out there. Live view out of New London, for example, really gloomy start, very damp there, 52 degrees. Winds are light. So yeah, you definitely need the rain gear out at the bus stop this morning. But any of that, whether it's an umbrella or a rain jacket, you will not need as early as lunch and recess, and certainly not the ride home. Conditions will be getting better as the day progresses, but this morning kind of dreary out there. The long range forecast does feature mainly dry weather and cooler temperatures. We'll show you more on that first alert 7-day coming up in about 15 minutes from now, but let's get an update on traffic with these poor travel conditions with Caitlin. Good morning.
All right. Good morning, Jill. Yeah, not the most ideal start here to your Wednesday. Could be worse, though. We are dealing with some wet conditions out there. Lots of spray coming up from vehicles. And following this first alert here for you in Middletown, Route 9 northbound between exits 19 and 21. The right lane there is blocked off. Now, if you were with us over on Channel 3 just a few minutes ago, we don't have a great image of this crash site, but this is sort of close to the area. Again, by exit 21, we had a little bit of reduced visibility. Looks like things are improving as they are here in Hartford on 91. Traffic volume, though, is increasing. Live look outside in Vernon, 84 east and westbound by Hartford Turnpike, here in Meriden along Route 15. This is right by the 91 connector. We had some overnight construction through that stretch. Daytime construction work will pick up across the state between about 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Here are those brief delays into Hartford on 84 eastbound and heavier delays down through Fairfield County on 95 southbound. Let's check out your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, we're on top of developing news in Mansfield this morning. Investigators are looking into what caused a house fire late last night.
Yeah, a lot of questions remain unanswered about this. Our crews were there all night working to get answers. Your reporter Anna Stansfield's live at the department this morning. So Anna, what are we learning new today?
Well, Tracey, Caitlin, the newest piece of information and the biggest update so far is that the 3 people that lived inside that home were taken out by firefighters. However, we still don't know what injuries they may have at this time. Around 6:30 last night, the fire broke out at this home. Locals may know it as a farm that raises alpacas. Several agencies responded to the call, including the state fire marshal's office and state police. But the first on the scene was a deputy chief with the Mansfield Fire Department who lives nearby. He went straight into the home with only an air pack, trying to rescue everyone inside. He took 3 people out of the home. Potential injuries still unknown. State police and the fire marshal's office obtaining a warrant on the home last night, helping them begin their investigation into what may have caused this fire. Now, we do know that a Lifestar helicopter was called out to the scene last night. However, we also know it didn't end up making it there. Again, we still don't know much about injuries at this point, but as we continue to learn more here this morning, we'll bring you the very latest on air and online. For now, though, I'm your reporter in Mansfield, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, happening today, the owner of several popular brunch spots is expected to be in court.
She's accused of writing bad checks worth more than $10,000. Your reporter Taylor Knight is explaining this isn't the first time the owner is in the headlines.
No, it's not, Caitlin and Tracey. Gina Luari owns the Place to Be. You could see this location here in West Hartford behind me. This location had its sales tax permit suspended back in August. The New Haven location had issues with unpaid rent, and her restaurant up in Springfield was evicted. Gina Luari, seen here in her mugshot, is accused of writing 2 bad checks totaling more than $10,000. East Hartford police say the manager from a restaurant equipment store filed a fraud complaint. That store manager said that Luari had written them 2 checks from a closed bank account, so they bounced. The store manager said that this was the 5th time that Luari had written bad checks to the company. Police went to Luari, and she told investigators that she didn't realize the account was closed and was going to pay the store back. Her other restaurants, including Raw in Hartford and the bakery here in West Hartford, have also been evicted. We will have continuing coverage of today's court appearance on air and online at WFSB.com. Your reporter in West Hartford, Taylor Knight, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Taylor, thank you. Tonight in Wethersfield, family members of firefighter Robert Sharkovich Sr. will take part in a memorial service to mark 1 year since his death. He was killed in a UTV crash while responding to a brush fire in Berlin. He was a firefighter for the Hartford Fire Department and also volunteered with the town of Wethersfield after retiring. Berlin leaders added his name to the town's first responder memorial earlier this year. And this morning, leaders in Hamden are weighing the next steps in their response to an ICE raid at a car wash last week.
ICE detained 8 people. One advocate says 2 of them have been released because they have visas being processed.
Yeah, so the raid was front and center during a council meeting last night. Some tensions were rising ahead of the meeting. One town councilor, a Republican, could be seen having an animated conversation with the council president, who's a Democrat. He says while he understands a concern for the people who were detained, he believes everyone must follow the rules.
Would I love to have him stay here? Yes, but you got to do it legally. There's green cards, there's work permits.
However, others have raised concerns about the impacts the raids are having on the community and says they're also feeling the effects.
ICE presence in Connecticut is causing fear in the lives of working people. Working families are afraid of ICE separating them.
Well, there have also been a lot of questions about what the police department knew ahead of time. A rally was held yesterday evening calling on the police department to alert the community ahead of time. Hamden's police department says they were notified by federal authorities before the raid, but they were not given an exact address. And they emphasized no local police officers were involved in the raid. The department's Ethics and Integrity Unit is now investigating.
One council member says she's drafted a letter to the governor and attorney general asking for their help in response to the raid. It calls on the state to do everything it can to bring the people who were detained back home. The letter also urges the state to sue the federal government and allow local governments to limit the locations where immigration enforcement activities can take place.
Well, this morning we're learning more about a plan to help you save on property taxes. Republican lawmakers introduced a plan yesterday to triple the property tax credit to $1,000 using state surplus funds to help. It would also raise income eligibility thresholds. Supporters say the cost of tax bills for some is similar to a mortgage payment, and Governor Lamont proposed a similar plan back in February.
Overnight, Ukraine says at least 6 people were killed in a massive Russian drone and missile attack in the capital city. Officials say a mother, her 2 young daughters were killed inside their home and are among the victims. Several other cities were also attacked.
And this attack comes just hours before a planned White House meeting between President Trump and the Secretary General of NATO about the war in Ukraine. President Trump met with Ukraine's president last week about the possibility of the U.S. giving Ukraine long-range missiles, but Trump decided not to. Trump also paused plans to meet with Russia's president, saying it would be a waste of time.
Well, today, a man accused of running a fake limo service is expected to face a judge. Mitch Cloder was arrested in connection to 2 separate cases in Portland and East Lyme. Today's hearing focuses on the charges in East Lyme. Our I-team has heard from almost a dozen people who say they paid him for rides, but a driver never arrived and they never received a refund. Over to West Hartford now, where town leaders are considering ways to make a new traffic circle more visible in response to complaints from neighbors. The roundabout is located at the intersection of Old Meadow Road and King Philip Drive. The town engineer says that area is prone to accidents, and leaders say the design was meant to help large vehicles make that narrow turn. Some drivers, though, have gone right over it and say it's hard to see.